It's simply asking like, okay, from 0 to 100%, like how much of the game of baseball is mental? Like, give me a number. And I have asked that question hundreds of times, trust me, to individuals, to groups, to coaches, no matter who the audience is. I don't know if I've ever gotten an answer that's like less than 50 or 60%. Like that's on the low end.
Mm-hmm.
And in fact, I just this past weekend I went to my son's little league and I did a little bit of a coaches clinic and kind of introduced some of this stuff to the coaches. And in that small pocket of population, and it's just fresh in my head, in that small pocket of coaches, I didn't get an answer under 70%. And that rings true even at the highest level. Our coaches in the Mariners organization, our players, they'll agree with that. And what's wild to me is though I've gotten the same type of answers again north of 50 on the low end percent, but it's usually in like the 70-75%. They believe the game is mental. It's amazing to me that we spend almost 99% of our time training the physical side and almost completely disregard the mental side. And don't get me wrong, like my job is a mental skills coach. I get paid to train the mental side of the game. That is my job description. That is what I get paid to do. And I would never tell a player that, hey, if you believe the game is 80% mental, you should train it 80% of the time. Like I would never say that because the physical game is incredibly important. But I think where the marriage is most important to understand is that whatever you're doing physically, there's a mental component that's attached to it. You're always thinking about something when you're doing something physically. And there's no separation between the mental and physical game. So if you're able to train the both at the same time, you're going to reap the benefits because sure, you can go do meditation or you can do some self-awareness by journaling and really understand what's going on between the ears and directly specifically train the mental side of the game. But there are ways to find there you can find ways to train the physical game and the mental game simultaneously, because when you're playing, it's happening simultaneously at the same in that context too. So it's really important to understand that, like, whether for the catchers, throwing the ball to second base or getting on two knees to block a ball or back pick into first base or calling a pitch for your pitcher, you're also thinking about something, and being able to dial in your mind and your body at the same time is incredibly valuable. So challenging yourself to be able to train both the physical and the mental at the same time, that's really the money's made. So to answer your question, like the best way to get the buy-in and the sales pitch is to use their answer and go like, well, you're telling me the game is 70% mental. So like, let's find a way to train even just a little bit. Let's move that needle a little bit. Because most people train probably less than 10% of the time. And like I said, I would never tell them to train 75% of the time of their time that they train the game. But it's like, let's do a little bit more and just like close that gap a little bit. Because you're leaving at the end of the day, you're leaving so much potential on the table if you're not training focus or confidence or like breathing techniques or really anything that falls into this category of the mental game. You're just leaving a lot of potential on the table, and that rings true for no matter what level you're talking to. And at the end of the day, players want to get better, and if that's their way to get better, then let's get after it in that particular way, because they are truly leaving potential on the table.
If you enjoyed that, be sure to like and subscribe. We'll have a new episode for you every single Tuesday here on our YouTube channel and wherever you listen to podcasts.